piece itself. So I think it would make more sense to try to do it modern, and it's weird. Like I'm interested to see what they come up with, and I'm sure it's going to be good, but I don't know if I see how it's going to pan out. But I mean, we could say that about The Invisible Man too, and they, proved us wrong. But so it's interesting.
Yeah, I'd be interested to check it out, and I'm just hoping that the news that I read a while back where Leigh Whannell was going to do a remake of Escape from New York, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Anything that keeps him away from remaking Escape from New York, I'm happy with. You can't remake a cult movie, especially with a lot of John Carpenter's movies. Remaking them is stupid. There's a reason why they work and the reason why they're so good as cult films. So don't do that movie. Do the Wolfman movie instead.
One movie that I really was very, very disappointed in, that I think came out, might have been January 4th or right at the beginning of the year, The Grudge, the most recent one.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that it wasn't that good.
I think it might just be called Grudge or something like that. But yeah, it was just, man, for as great as a cast as it had, it was just, for the most part, I don't even know why it was rated R. There's a few, grotesque moments, but it was just full of these jump scares that just felt like the cheesy PG-13 movies that we're against for the most part, So it was very confusing because they had Andrea Riseborough, John Cho.
John Cho, and we'll talk about this in a moment because I know both you and I saw it and loved it. Betty Gilpin's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got a solid cast. That's a bummer that it didn't work out. Yeah, you remember you asked me like what the horror movie that they're always pushing. Every Twilight Zone marathon, there's always like some horror movie that's getting like a big marketing push.
Yeah.
During the commercial break, The Grudge was the one from last year.
Yeah, I was really excited to see it. They got Lin Shaye, Damien Bashir, Betty Gilpin, as you said. Just like William Sadler, it's like,
oh man, yeah, that's a solid cast.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't believe me, you can check it out on Stars right now. It does sit at a 21 on Raw. Yeah, I don't know. The biggest disappointment for me was that it just kind of retreaded what we already saw, and I really thought that it was going to do something different, but they literally were just like, let's make the biggest thing, which is, I think, the curse being Japanese or whatever, and they're like, let's Americanize it, bring it over, yeah. And then or switch it, like, so basically it's like an American woman haunting all these people, and she's like, because she's a tourist, she came from over there back to America, and she becomes like the one that passes on the grudge or whatever, and it just felt like highway robbery, in a lot of ways. I don't know, but if you're interested in still diving off that deep end, it's on Stars.
Must miss.
I actually wrote when I was writing reviews, there's this new app where you can write movie reviews, and I savaged that one. Especially because you and Susie, your running joke is that I love every horror film. So I had to prove you guys wrong with this one.
Well, that's good. It's good to know that you have a bar. Like I said, you're a lot better than a lot of other people I know that are just, oh my God, it was the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's like Jason Takes Manhattan or something. You're like, oh my god, it's the best one yet. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Jason X, Jason Goes to Space. Oh, it's incredible. It's the best Friday the 13th movie since the original.
Did somebody really tell you that?
No, but I guarantee you that these people would have if I had bothered to ask them if they like Jason X.
Oh man, Jason X is just about as bad as Leprechaun in Space, Leprechaun 4. Did we talk about in the Tarantino episode years ago that Tarantino was supposed to once upon a time do a Michael Myers in Space film that was scrapped?
I don't know. We didn't talk about that. I'm fairly certain we didn't talk about that. That was, man, what, 3.5 years ago now when we did those?
Yeah.
So I don't recall that conversation. I do remember him saying that he was going to make like a Michael Myers movie, but I don't recall the in space part of it.
Yeah, I think I have this documentary that said it was supposed to be set in space. Man, what I would love to read that. I would love to read that screenplay.
Some bonkers movie. Well, that's what everyone was always speculating, because he said he was going to make like the Star Trek movie. It was kind of like, well, what would a Star Trek movie from Tarantino be like?
Just a whole lot of cursing.
Yeah,
you know.
Like it's really interesting. You know, I think what sets him apart and makes him an interesting filmmaker is he's always doing his own thing, not taking an established property or a franchise. I mean, I know that, you know, yes, Jackie Brown is based on a novel, but he did his own thing with it. But he's not taking like an established franchise like a Star Trek or like Halloween and doing his own thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So while it would be interesting to see, I don't think that would be my cup of tea with him, because I like what he does with his original work.
Yeah, it's agreed, man. Couldn't agree more. What else did I watch? Oh, we did so in February, we did the anniversary screening of The Faculty, which you weren't able to make. But the reason why I'm bringing this up shamelessly is that Birds of Prey came out at that same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to go and watch that pre-COVID. I don't think you've seen it yet, but you're planning on it, right?
Yeah, I'll watch it. It's on HBO. I'll check it out. It wasn't something I was trying to rush to see, because I probably don't care as much about it. I really wanted to watch, you know, The Invisible Man and The Hunt, which I think we should talk about in a moment.
Yeah.
Because that's been on too. I wanted to check those out, and Birds of Prey was kind of like pretty low on the list. So I'll watch it eventually, but it's not up there. But you have something to say about it?
Yeah, no. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it kind of got overlooked as far as what, you know. I don't know why people didn't care as much. It didn't do great at the box office, but as I said I think we did a movie focus on it a couple episodes back, and
yep.
I thought it was very it's superior to David Ayer's Suicide Squad, you know, in a lot of ways, and it's just a fun movie, and Margot Robbie rules as that character, and I felt like she really kind of honed in and fleshed out that character even more than we had seen before. And
well, it probably helped that she was a producer on it too.
Yeah,
she got to do her thing with it instead of following what someone else wanted her to do.
That's very true. Yeah, she definitely had a lot to do with everything that was going into that movie. But yeah, point is, I think it's really good, pretty underrated, and one of the most I think for me, top tier DC, current DCU, right now. It's very, it's fun. It's silly. It was on the other side of the spectrum from Joker, which I think Joker had just opened up right before Birds of Prey. Maybe that's why people didn't care as much, because they wanted more Joker, probably. It's just insane to me that Joker made cleared $1 billion, and then Birds of Prey couldn't clear 250 million. It's strange, but what can you do?
Yeah. So we brought it up. You saw it. This is I think this movie came out the weekend that everything went to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And that was The Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But you said you saw it in the drive-in, when drive-ins were doing really good business, because that was the only way to see a movie, and definitely the only safe way to see a movie.
I did.
And I just caught it on HBO or Cinemax, one of those two, the other night. I think I watched that back to back with The Invisible Man.
That's funny. That was the double bill at the drive-in that I watched.
Really? It's a good double bill, because they're both really good movies. I thought The Hunt was fun as hell, and Betty Gilpin is so fucking good.
You just fucked up, bitch.
She's great. She was a great action hero.
Yeah, a great final girl,
Yeah, and she has an amazing fight scene with Hilary Swank in the climax of the film.
Yep.
That's as we were talking about before, a fight scene that there's actually not a ton of cuts in.
No, yeah, that is a pretty much a one shot, huh?
Yeah. But it's so fun. And I was surprised, a lot of people pop up in the movie and literally get killed 30 seconds in.
Yeah, they leave you. It's very unpredictable, because you're thinking, oh, okay, they're going to be, substantial to the story, and they're really not.
Yeah.
A good example would be that, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, it's been out for a while, so forgive me, but Emma Roberts, right, is one of the first people we see, and she doesn't last very long.
Yeah. And one of the first guys you meet that helps her out looks like he's going to be, the hero of the movie, and gets killed pretty quickly.
Yep.
Ethan Suplee pops up in it for a bit, and he's got a fun couple of lines. He's the conspiracy theory podcaster.
Yeah, he's good. That guy's ripped now.
Yeah, I was seeing those pictures a few months ago.
Yeah, he's a whole new looking dude.
He's got a fun few minutes of screen time with Betty Gilpin.
Mm-hmm.
And then disappears, and then later you find out why. But it was a lot of fun. I was surprised. I texted you 30 or 40 minutes in, and I was like, well, this movie is batshit, but it's fun. It was so over the top. The whole even Ike Barinholtz, I thought was going to be in the movie a lot longer, and he makes it off that initial start of the hunt. Survives, and then gets killed as soon as they get to the convenience store.
Yeah, one of the girl that they're with, she eats the donuts and they're poison, right, or something. Yeah.
But it was so much fun, and that was a movie that had been delayed a couple of times, and then came out, and then everything went sideways in the world, and immediately got shut out of theaters.
Yeah, they tried to open it despite